For anybody.
Yeah.
I mean, kind of know what we're gonna end up being like that. So we need like 5 now, but okay. Yeah.
We should all just like
Talk to Cheryl.
I know that is awesome.
I don't know how somebody maybe some people will tell like they want to go to the place was trash.
So I don't know what it looks like.
Yeah. Cheryl lives in Canada. I live in
So this guy does
Yep.
does he like
I think they So now to push right there. No, don't go, don't, it's too far, don't do it. Right here we go.
It's why I adjusted that. Yeah, I adjusted it. White. Or you can put it all and bring it to white. I had a problem with gray hair. See, if we were going to do this right, likewise, we would have had truss up front. So we would be able to take out the room, right? The room is, that's the data part about the room, you got to take the room out. But it's hard.
Well, I started watching the screen while I was doing it, and that helped. I never even.
So that's why I had the monitor back.
Yeah.
Maybe we want to do that next time with you too. But,
Or just
hard, well, maybe for lighting the seating matters because they're going.
Yeah.
It's a long pivot. A long pivot. So it'll drive you mad.
No, I noticed
Lights.
it. I mean, that's what was happening. I was like changing it and then just like sitting there and waiting for the scene to come out. But I'm trying to figure out the like. But yeah, right.
Oh,
Yeah. I didn't realize it was on YouTube. I didn't know all that. I didn't see that.
No, just picture it in your mind.
Some people like so we take it like this. It's an idea. Yeah, idea. This is something. It's not going to be loud. It's not going to be loud. But still. I don't think we can do it. Unless I bring one of those play boxes that has the built-in set it for 3 minutes. I mean, you do it for a second. And you go, yeah. I was going to say that. I was thinking. We'll come in and talk about it. That's here. They're all written out, they're all in my head. Again, my NERFA partner.
Yeah, well, I'm gonna make everybody move up front anyways. That's great. It's more about the, if the live stream looks like there's nobody here.
Oh, yeah, oh, so you want us on the
You know you're moving it.
Right,
You know
the
you're
groom.
moving up
Cheryl.
front. Right, yeah, the groom side, please. If we're live streaming, if we live streaming, it doesn't look like that's it.
Stage for Hollywood. You'll see everybody.
Oh, see, that's.
Cheryl said she wanted everyone to scrap.
What time was that? I feel like that was on my.
told you.
Hey, darling. Yes, they do. Yeah, way back. We've known each other for a year.
A year and a week.
No.
2 weeks.
A year and 2 weeks.
Oh, much as
Oh, really? But no access to, no access.
Well, some people say it's,
Let's go put it this way. I don't like this
some
way.
people say it's ranked.
I don't like to go to that. Yeah, well, so as a volunteer, at least half of the sites have access to
Not enough water, that's usually the first thing.
Oh, I've heard the volunteer.
Eating junk like a cat.
And patients are allowed on Wednesday. Before the festival.
Which is on Friday.
Technically it's Thursday night.
Oh, Thursday afternoon. Thursday afternoon, and there's a curated performance indoors on Thursday night.
So I bring a tent.
Absolutely.
Kathy curated it.
I can't wear a coat. Or not something covering you. When it
There will be
there will be wind. Well, we're not touching the sugar today. Now they come up to
to the west, it's open. You can see above wings.
if for somebody who needs to well, they could.
So no indoor venues. That's what I needed to know.
That's not true. There's a pavilion over near the United States. It's may not hold long as that.
Outhouses.
There's both outhouses and there's one banquet hall.
Showers.
There was one shower in the front. As a volunteer, which are in the cow washing section, the cow washing area.
The livestock.
That's right. The purple bag.
You're taking up a whole extra row and we're over here? We're talking.
Well, I can bring my purple thing over. I'll sit here.
The volunteers, they build showers in their own. But took a couple of showers this summer. There are lots of Airbnbs, several hotels.
Litchfield was about 5
Morning. We're talking about
but I
So, I mean, there are if you're going to do that, it recommends that you book them earlier rather than later.
It's not as tight as it was at the old sites. The old sites, you wouldn't be able to get something that, you've known people have been able to get it up until No. I'm awful for even doing it. There's just so much more area.
Very helpful. I really appreciate this.
There is late night.
So I'm sorry about my sister. No, yeah, but the reason I say that is she wouldn't want me coming home at 1 in the morning.
That was and the music goes later than that, no? It does still go that way? Wow. I'm not usually up that way.
I look forward to seeing you next summer.
I don't know if you know his old time spring band. Right, we got chosen to. I keep wanting to stay up late and see the apple circle because I know how wonderful it is. It just doesn't make it. Yeah, no. So you like having it so close to home?
So you're gonna have to bring these mics right up. Yeah. Good morning, everybody. Thank you for coming up front. I tell you why, because we're on live stream. Want to look like it's a full house, which it is. It's packed. Actually, this is a pretty good turnout for the morning after the night before. And we didn't even advertise that there's coffee, but there's coffee. And treats. Thank you, Katie, for all the treats and the coffee. Thank you, Katie. Because all of us were like, did we order it? Did we not order it? Did we order it? I thought we ordered it. Oh, we didn't order it. And then there it is. It's like magic. Katie is like magic.
Who is Katie?
Katie's right in the back there, not on camera. I will also start by saying the one thing all of us dislikes the most, more than anything else in the whole wide world, is being on a stage. Come on. No, we want it to be like either in a circle or down below, but for the live stream and so everybody can see us in the back because it's packed. We are doing the stage thing. So.
I like being on the stage.
Oh, Bernie's really actually. I don't know if you. Oh, never mind.
Well, I really like being on the stage, so
there.
I'm going to be on the stage regardless if you guys are.
All right. For those who don't know me, I'm Cheryl Prashker. Actually, we'll introduce each other. I'm Cheryl Prashker. I'm the president. At least last year I was. We don't know who's going to be doing what because our first Zoom board meeting will determine the officers of the board. But maybe very quickly, go down the line. Whoever has a mic.
It is on.
Yes.
Hi, my name is Kemp Harris. This is my first year on the board. I'm not going to be president because I saw what your job is. But it was an honor to serve with these incredible people, and thank you for being here.
Good morning, I'm Carol Lowe, and I've had the honor to serve as treasurer this year. Hopefully I'll still be on the board next year, but we'll see who gets to be that lovely position. Thank you all for coming. We've really enjoyed supporting you being here with us.
Hi, my name is Reese Shad, and I think I'm in my first 5 minutes of being on the board.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Naomi Westwater, and yes, today is my first day on the board.
Good morning, I'm Amy Putnam. I've just finished my first year on the board. It has been a delightful experience, and I'm not lying. I appreciate everybody who's been here this weekend. I think it's been fantastic, and that's largely because of the energy that all of you brought to it, so thank you.
Good morning, I'm Bertie Drury. I'm also finishing my first year on the board, and I want to thank everybody that came and brought all that positive energy because it was infectious and we fed off it too, so thank you.
I'm Sarah Craig, and I'm in my final 5 minutes of the I only had a 1-year term. There was a 3-year and a 1-year available, and I think that Ron got the 1 and I got the 3, and I said, let's trade. So, but it's been a really fun year to get a better sense of what the inner workings of the conference are, and I think you're in really good hands.
Hi, my name's Jane Toohey. I'm finishing my first year on the board, but I've been involved with this organization since the beginning, and it was wonderful to see just the excitement and the community that was here this weekend, so thank you all very much. And this crew is absolutely amazing to work with. It has been a pure pleasure.
I've got my own mic, I'm a radio guy. I'm Ron Olesko. I was asked to be on the board back in January and to fill one of the open positions, and even though I spent all these months on it, I decided to run for a full term. And thank you all for electing me as part of this. See how it goes. This could be my last 5 minutes, depending on how many.
So as you can tell, there's a theme. This board was put together all last year because the previous board did all leave, except for me. It was a very lonely room. I was sad because I did enjoy working with the previous board, and they kept this conference going post-COVID, and so I want to thank the previous board and the previous administration, and Ethan and Natalia, and everybody who kept this thing going. So. So when this board got on its first Zoom call, we all kind of looked at each other and went, good Lord, what have we all done?
What have dogs what?
Yes. And then it was like magic. We just kicked into gear and said, our primary focus is putting on this conference this weekend. And so once we established that that was the goal, we just kind of rolled up our sleeves, and everybody really brought it. And then people like you guys all stepped up. Everybody stepped up. It was incredible. What can I do? You know, like Dan Tappan doing the live stream, or everything. Daniel Senni helping out with stuff. And Aaron Schoenberg and everybody who stepped up to say, what can I do? Terry Muchler, thank you. I mean, you've been around since day one too, and it was really appreciated. So, yeah, and then actually it was Carol Ann that found this building. So thank you, Carol Ann. She said, I was just at this conference at this really cool place, and then she couldn't explain it. And then Jillian Matundan came in because we didn't know what to do. We hadn't met Carol yet, and Jillian Matundan came in and negotiated the crap out of this. To the point where they offered her a job. It was awesome.
Everybody wants her.
Yeah, they can't have her. So this board, like I said, got together along with everybody who volunteered to focus on putting this weekend together, and I think we did it.
Yeah.
We brought a lot of venues to the building, which is always my focus, is to make sure there's venues to hear the musicians, because we don't want to be playing for our friends only. And so I was so happy to see so many venues here, and the amount of newbies. I think we had, about a quarter of the population were newbies, and that's awesome. Like I said last night, the smiles on their faces basically said it all. So I'm a little brain dead. I don't have an agenda, but some of the business that we'd like to get to before we get to questions. First of all, please, please, please fill out the survey that's going to be sent out pretty much immediately when you get home. Don't put this on the, here's the things that don't put on the survey, because we know. We will have the font bigger on the so you can scratch that from your list. What else? What else do we already know? Coffee at night and a bar. Yeah, we'll have coffee at night here and a cash bar here.
2 pockets.
And 2 pockets. Oh, I don't know about the 2 pockets, Angela. Maybe. You're right.
We could add a lot of, make a much higher registration fee if you want that. And don't blame it on Angela. That's.
Bring our old
Cheryl.
The private show.
They were there. So here's the
Not
thing.
until the second day, was it?
No, the printed programs were here on Tuesday night. And there are about another 300 that are now in the garbage. So you guys did not pick up the printed programs.
Yes, I did.
They were at the registration, basically VIX tables. So they were printed out, and yeah, they were there. They were there.
They're also available online, so people can print them out at home before
I
they
think
got
that's what
here.
we're going to do next year. Is you just print out your own.
They were there.
Yeah. No, I know. I'm saying, but that's all we're going to do next year.
We'll work on that.
Yeah. Okay, keep going.
So we're gonna have first-timer strips
Yeah,
for
sorry.
all of that. 'Cause
Sorry,
that's-
first-timers.
And the other is we were told that colorblind, so we'll have better things that say, hug me, ask me first, that kind of thing. So people will not have an issue with color, because we really want to be part of that.
And as far as the private showcases go in the app, Carol Ann has learned better ways to do that, so that it will be a little bit easier to read next year. So these are all things that have been in development over the weekend. We already have a file started for next year's stuff, so just add to it, and we'll make it even better next year.
Yes, please fill out the survey. There's a lot of questions, and then plenty of space to add your notes and thoughts, because we really, really, really want to know what we can do to make it better.
Carol, it was fabulous.
It was a fabulous conference. We're gonna bring a mic out to you guys to answer questions. But first, I want to officially thank you for that. By the way, I want to officially ask Carol to give a small financial report from Tim Mason, who's been our bookkeeper. That was put into place previously, and we've kept him, and very grateful to Tim. And remember, most of the bills haven't been paid yet, so it's going to sound like there's a lot of money in the bank.
I'm not even going to tell you. So the thing about the conference is, you know, we want to end in the black. We started in the black, so we had enough money to fund the conference. The conference appears to have paid for itself, so we'll be able to fund the next one. And that's all the things that are really important to us to support the community. I think the one number I really want to share with you is really important to me, and I think to all of us. This year, as part of the hard work that Amy and her team have done, Folk Alliance has started sharing the profits or the pieces from our membership fees. And so far this year, they have contributed more than $20,000 to NERFA, which is a really I'll put out real numbers later, but most important I want to say is because you were here, because you supported us, we're able to stay in the black and do it again next year.
All right. Yes. And the money that comes from Folk Alliance, that was, I mean, basically Michael started that conversation years ago. Ethan and Justin took the ball and really pushed that Folk Alliance should be sharing the money that comes in. And I will explain that when we were at a regional committee meeting, which is amazing, by the way, to sit with all the other regions and Folk Alliance in a room and just brainstorm. Yes, we are the largest region, and yes, it feels like it makes sense that we get the bigger pie, but everybody agreed, and it was voted on, that we share the pie amongst the regions, because those regions are the ones that need it the most, because there are a couple of regions that they don't know if they can have a conference next year because they don't have the money. So also, when Folk Alliance happens in a certain region, then more people sign up to be members in that region. So then that region actually feels like it has more people as Folk Alliance members. So it kind of always changes the amount of Folk Alliance members in each region. So it seems unfair that we're not getting the bigger piece of the pie, but it was a fair vote. And we did bring up, and it was Amy, myself, and Jane Toohey in the room, and we kind of fought it on behalf of you guys a little bit. We didn't let it just go. We were like, yeah, but your Folk Alliance members come from this region, and maybe we should get a little more money. But alas, it was a fair vote, and it was a big discussion, a long discussion, and here we are all sharing the same amount. So, yeah, oh yeah, and that can be revisited in 5 years, is it? 5 years, okay. So that's that report. While you're still awake and have coffee in your hand, Amy's going to do a little report on the bylaws. So this is your nap time. We all know how exciting bylaws are. As most of you know, there had been some concern about bylaws over the last few years. I had a fantastic governance team with Jillian Mutunden, Lainey Corbett, and Dan Tappan, and the four of us spent literally 6 months looking at every single word of the bylaws and making them more streamlined and more efficient and more self-explicable. And we are, what? I know, I put them to sleep, but I'll be brief, I promise. We are about this close to having it come to all of you so that you can review it and make sure we've heard all of your concerns and addressed all of your concerns in a way that feels like we're moving forward still. And then once we do that and we get those feedback pieces in, we can go through the ratification process, which will be going up to the Folk Alliance Regions Committee that Cheryl mentioned, the Folk Alliance Board, and then the membership gets to vote. But we want all of you to see it first and let us know if we have hit the mark. So that'll be coming very shortly. I'm so grateful for the time that Lainey and Dan and Jillian put in, because we really did look at every single word of it, and we think that we heard everything that needed to be heard and reflects that in the end result. So thank you all for the feedback that helped lead to that process. Yeah. Thank you, Amy. Thank you guys, committee, for doing that, because it is huge, huge, and because the rest of us just, our eyes bugged out. Okay. Absolutely.
I just, these conferences have lots of hidden expenses, and the best way to cover them without raising prices is through sponsors. And I will be the point person for sponsorships, and anybody that wants to assist with that, you are most welcome. But even if you just have good ideas or contacts for me to follow up with, because that will just allow us to continue without it ever making additional expenses visible to the membership. So, but thank you very much. Thanks for being here.
And for those who are new here, because how many newbies in the room? I don't necessarily mean to out you, but if you don't know about Folk Alliance International and what the membership thing we're talking about, that's sort of the granddaddy organization that sort of parents us in a way that we are a member of. And if you become a member of Folk Alliance, then there's some perks, all kinds of perks, from getting lists of venues to cheaper registrations to all the other regions, and things like that. So folk.org is that organization. So you don't pay to become a member of NERFA. You don't have to be a member of NERFA to attend this conference. You don't even have to be a member of Folk Alliance to attend the conference. We just support the organization because they do good things on our behalf. They've negotiated things like house concert, PROs, performance right organization. House concerts they used to come after house concerts and ask for money. And house concerts were like, are you kidding me? All the money goes to the performer. So Folk Alliance stepped in, went to the government, and worked really hard, and they got the performance rights organizations to back off. They are also working on the visa problems for Canadians and Europeans, and which is why, by the way, we are missing a good 75 to 100 people here this weekend, is because we don't have as many Canadians as we normally have. And we are missing them, and actually one of the things that we'd like to do post-conference is with Eve Goldberg and Shauna Caspi, I've been talking to them about putting a Zoom together so that they can help educate us as to why they aren't here this weekend. Well, yeah, no, but it's not just that. A lot of it does have to do with the visas, the cost of the visas, and why, that they can't tour the States because the visas are too expensive. So why come to conferences if they can't tour and all that stuff? So, but just to have the conversation, I think would be nice. So that's why they're not here this weekend. And we miss our Canadian fans. But those that are here, we love you. Oh, I guess I am one of them. That being said, I do have dual citizenship, so it's a little easier for me to cross the border. But it has been a thing, and they are very sad. I went to Folk Music Ontario a couple weeks ago, where there was 1,000 people there. And there were 1,000 people there because they're not coming here or to New Orleans. And they all said that. But they expressed how sad they were to not be coming to NERFA because NERFA is their home away from home. So greetings from the Canadians, and greetings from Diane and Bob and everybody else who hasn't been able to be here. Anything else? Oh, you want to run? Yeah. Okay, cool. Do you have any other parting words? First of all, thank you so much to Sarah. First of all, she stepped up to take notes for us as the secretary, which is not an easy job, especially when you are busy 40 hours a day, as she is. So on behalf of the whole board, thank you for your time.
Thank you. I remember on this day last year, when the entire board stepped down, and oh God, I can almost feel it again. I was just sitting there trying not to cry. Yeah. Because I just realized what I'd gotten myself into. And beyond that, I felt like, who even are we if we've let ourselves fall apart like that? How can we be a model for the world? How can we sing these songs and get up there and say we have the answer if we can't even get along together? And this for all of us is a place of, peace and wellness, and that just hurt all the way through. And so, who was it who said to me in the hallway, somebody grabbed me in the hallway and said, it feels so good for everything to feel normal and healthy again, It doesn't have to be complicated. We just have to remember who we are and listen and get along. And so Cheryl is a peacemaker beyond compare, and really set it
One of the things I want to talk about for just 1 second, and then I want to read the email from Janice Ian, if I may. To me, I know she put something out on Facebook. For those who haven't seen it yet, please look at her Facebook page. She already has posted about us before we even got up, which is pretty awesome. And I want to take note of our elders and the wisdom that our elders bring to this conference, because if it wasn't for Sunny Oaks, who just said, "Oh, I'll make a call." Like, who says that? Sunny. So I want to remember to cherish our elders, because we are, especially in this region, we are super, super lucky. So this is from Janice this morning. Thank you both so much for the opportunity. I had a wonderful time, and I can't tell you how heartening it is to be among the folk people. I miss it terribly. I know that we were taping tonight, and if there's any way for me to get a copy so I can add all my extemporaneous remarks to my record of speech, I would really, really appreciate it. Of course, if there is a chance of posting it online, that would be even better. That's pretty amazing that she wants to post, her speech. I have to say that I was very pleased with the reaction. Normally when I give a speech, I talk about being an artist and solely that. To speak so much politically left me a little nervous, even with this crowd, because it's hard to speak that way without boring people. I was very happy with it, and everybody is lovely, and the food was not horrible. It's a good thing we didn't invite her to Kutcher's. And everybody is so lovely. Really great choice. Oh yeah, and the hotel was a great choice. Really a great choice. Again, thank you both. And Sunny, a huge hug for you. And stay warm in the winter. Keep that stove going. So that's from Janice Ian. Any questions? Concerns, thoughts, etc.
Hi. First of all, I was unaware of all the political stuff that had been going on, and I'm still not clear on it, and I'll talk to some people I know, but I'm so glad that it's back in doing the right stuff. I have two things. I have a whole bunch of stuff which I'm going to put in the survey. There are two things that particularly struck me. One was the very large preponderance of singer-songwriter solos and duos in the formals. There was few, no bands, no traditional, no blues, no bluegrass, no instrumental people. I spoke to Ron a little about that. He said there were a paucity of people who applied, but I'm just remarking on my own response to that, and so be aware that this is something that I am concerned about. Secondly, when I looked down the list and saw all these names, no band names, I said, well, maybe some of these people are traditional, and I went to look to see the individual profiles of these people. There was no description of them on the Hoover Act. Now, again, I spoke to Ron about that, and he said that they didn't fill out the form. Well, these are professional people, and there was not a single formal showcase act on Saturday night that knew that they had to put a description in, or knew how to put a description in. So somewhere there's a lack of communication, and that should be addressed.
Thank you, Mike. Thank you so much. I just want to answer one part of that. First of all, none of us knew anything about the artists that came in. We handed this over to the judges, and away they went. So we trust our judges, and it's interesting. I understand that Farm had nothing but solos and duos also, and I will say, as a touring artist in a 5-piece Celtic band, it is extremely hard to tour in anything more than a duo today, because hotels are 50% higher, rental cars are doubled, it's just so expensive, and venues cannot afford us. So I'm making the same amount of money I did 15 years ago in this band. And it's not great, but I mean, I've noticed the waves as we've gone on. In the 90s, it was like bands, and then it went back to the duos and solos. And my band couldn't get a gig at Falcon Ridge either, because it was all duos and solos. And then it became bands again. And I really see a lot of duos and solos. Not that the talent wasn't off the frickin' charts last night, but it's just fascinating. But yes, that's what the judges gave you, and I think we had a pretty good show.
Just to add what Cheryl and Mike were saying, it's very true. I mean, if you look at the list of, I wasn't a judge, but I did get to see the people as they were coming in. And as Cheryl was saying, it's harder for bands. But all of you out there, all of you watching in TV land, tell your friends. You know, let's get some of those traditional people here. We invited the folks from Old Songs to be here because they do such an amazing job of that. And
Dance Flurry.
Dance Flurry, yes.
Yep.
So hopefully next year we can see more traditional, but it's going to be incumbent upon everybody to spread the word, spread the gospel of NERFA. And as for the Hoover app, you're right. I mean, the communications could be a lot better, but when we first started using Hoover, Scott Wolfson put out this amazing video of how to use it, how you put your bios in, and I don't think anybody watched it. So he said, I spoke to him last night, he said he was going to try to do another one for next year. And a lot of these features also cost money. These are add-ons. These are companies that we're working with that require us to do more. And I don't think anybody wants to spend more than we're already spending. We're trying to keep the costs as low as possible. But we do recognize some of these things. And for all of you who use Hoover, put your bio in, because next year, if you're using that same address, it's going to come up. And it's only going to help you having your website, your photos, your descriptions. And if you go to any of the other conferences that are using Hoover, it'll be the same thing.
And the NERFA app is up forever.
Yeah.
So you can still go in there and scoot around. Okay, other questions?
Check. Am I on? Oh yeah. Hey, good morning. Thank you to everybody on the board. I don't know really anybody on the board outside of this room except for Bernie, who I know for many, many years. What an amazing conference. I've been to at least, I was a newbie in Carol Ann's room, thank you, but I've been to at least 10 conferences, and this was fantastic. I don't know how you did it. I got a little information from Bernie about what happened, but I don't really understand that at all. So thank you for putting it together, not only everybody on the board, but every volunteer. It was truly magnificent. Ron, thank you for that. What was the name of that movie?
You Got Gold. Coming to the theater near you.
I think everybody that was in that room, this room, for that movie, to me that was the highlight of the show. So thank you very much for that. I just wanted to say one thing that maybe you could negotiate, because I'm looking around the room. This is the 80-20 rule, or maybe the 90-10 rule. It's probably 10% of the attendees of the conference here in this room. So I went to the checkout room, checkout counter this morning, and I said, hey, I'd like to check out at 12:30 because there's a song circle at 11. They said, no, unfortunately your key will only work until 12. I said, really? I've been to a lot of hotels. Everybody has always made that accommodation. So maybe for next year you can ask them, the checkout people, to let us check out at 12:30, because I got all my stuff here, I could have gone back to the room. But outside of that little ending note, you guys did an amazing job. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Hi everybody, my name is Nico Patton. I'm an artist from Long Island, and I just want to say a sincere thank you. I have severe celiac disease, and there has been discussion from Scott Wolfson and myself, other really severe food allergy people before, and I was able to be accommodated and participate in the, I could start crying. I cannot tell you how meaningful that was to me. In previous NERFAs, I had to be eating like my sad gluten-free sandwich in my room, feeling lonely, and you know, just to be able to be, like they brought me my meal, it said celiac disease, like I knew I was safe, I knew I wasn't gonna get sick, and I could be with people. to those of us who know what it's like to have food allergies, where's Scott Wilson? I cannot tell you how meaningful that is. So the fact that this hotel was able to accommodate me, I just thank you so much.
Thank Katie Riggs for that. She negotiated the meals. Initially, the cost was astronomical, and the selections were less than astronomical. But she negotiated community meals, and we were overwhelmed with how many people purchased the plan, and it was so good to sit with everybody. And we can thank Katie for that.
I haven't been here in 5 or 6 years, and the thing right now that's blowing me away is the board. We worked for years to become diverse. And when I left, the board was not diverse. Culturally, it was a white board, and we worked really hard. And sitting here today, it was NERFA's intent to grow this community and look at our board. You know, we're more diverse, and I'm grateful for that, and I'm sure everybody else is. And I just think you're right on. In relation to what you said about Folk Alliance, I think if you look at it from a philosophic point of view, there's a difference between equal and fair. And I think possibly NERFA was looking for their equal share, and I think NERFA changed and looked at the fair share. And that reminds me today of why I'm here. NERFA, for me, the we is more important than the I. And NERFA had changed, and the we sort of, for me and what I do, was lost. I feel now the we is more important than the me. And sitting here, you can see that this is a we. It's win-win for everybody. And the last thing I want to say is I'm not a musician, I'm a school teacher, and I can be really annoying. I have a rant, and Cheryl's laughing, and those of you who know me, I've had this rant for 20-something years. Wait a minute, I have a compliment for you guys, and I have a compliment for Diane, because I wasn't the cause of it, but I was annoying enough that NERFA looked at something to do with children years ago. It didn't work out, doesn't matter. They did it. And that, to me, was important. It wasn't what I would have done with kids, but they did it. You can't ask for any more than that. To me, NERFA was successful. Fast forward now, and I had an idea, and I called Sarah Craig, and we worked really hard on a proposal. And I think if you asked her, the two of us would say it's phenomenal. But it took 3 days. It had to do with bringing in kids, 3 workshops, an awful lot. And NERFA said, you know what? This is not for us now. Let's start, for the first time, and Ron, you know I am beyond grateful, a peer group. And let's see if there's an interest in this type of work musicians are doing with, and by children, I mean like preschool through college. I don't mean little, like little kids are a part of it, but the young, because how do you create your audience? It's a conversation that is continually, and nobody's doing anything different. But if you grow them and you start them young, you know, in 10 years or, you know, long term, you'll have an audience. Well, I'm just grateful that you allowed a peer group and you're revisiting, and that to me is what NERFA is about. So I have only positive things to say. It wasn't cold like you told us, so I didn't even, you know, layer. And everybody at the hotel, I've been to the hotel. So I used to do, and this was funny, I used to do a teacher's got books, let's read, and let the reading begin. And when I checked in, the man, I said, how long have you been here? He said, 29 years. I said, oh, do you remember Frank Hodge? I was a teacher, and he used to do this, 400 teachers, 30 authors from all over the world, room to room, the whole thing. And he's like, oh, we love that conference. You know, 300 elementary teachers, you're not going to get nicer than that. I said, well, then you're going to love this conference, because this is Got Books, Let's Read on steroids. Wait a minute, because when I checked out today, he was there, and just so you know, the hotel loves this conference, he told me.
Yeah.
Mark Schaefer. I'm not an entertainer from a venue, and I wanted to say that I come to learn, and I was very satisfied. The workshops have a lot of practical application, and it's just amazing to be here. It's really beneficial for the, I represent the Folk Project, and it's really helpful stuff that gets applied. I stopped coming many years ago because I didn't find this particular benefit. And for the past 3 years I found it, and this time I found it even more. Whatever you guys are doing is being practically applied the rest of the year, especially in New Jersey. And if you don't believe me, I am from New Jersey.
What exit? I just want to add to what you're saying. You know, we have a programming committee. I was somehow made the chair of this committee, but we had some really hardworking people. We met practically every week. People like Megan Carey, Amy Putnam, Kim Harris, Reese Fulmer, Biff Kennedy, and I'm probably forgetting some people, but we really thought out, and one of the issues, we love Portland, we love the work that was done, but it didn't seem like there was enough for venues to offer. So we made a special effort to try that. And we also were concerned about how much are we putting into this? How many workshops do we want to have going? Are we going to dilute our audience? I think it worked out pretty well. We can improve on it. And I also want to suggest when you fill out that survey, we're also going to have programming suggestions for next year for peer groups and such. So please contribute.
We do know, and this is something I'm sure we'll see on the survey, we do know that the programming was jam-packed. And when this programming committee started, we were, well, they were like, I wonder if anybody's actually going to come to this thing. Like, maybe nobody, so what programming do we do? And then great ideas started flowing in, and then we built in, we definitely built in, well, they definitely built in free time. And then all these other amazing things started happening. And it was hard to say no. Like with Andy Spence and that great program, and then, of course, the movie. And so in the end, especially Friday, there was not a minute to breathe. And we do know that, and we are aware of it, and we know we have to build in some free time, but that did not happen this year, and we're very well aware of it.
Back to Ron.
Speaking of that, the movie, I don't know how many of you realized, or maybe you heard me when I introduced it, but that was because somebody posted on Facebook, on our NERFA Talk, they posted a picture of Fiona Prime, who was announcing a screening that took place at the Nashville Film Festival. And somebody, I can't remember who it was, they may be in this room right now, they said, why don't you, wouldn't this be great to have at NERFA? And then I looked at it, I said, wait a minute, isn't that what my brother-in-law's working on? So we made some calls. But again, it's because of people like you who made that suggestion. I wouldn't have remembered it. I mean, he does so much, but you know, it's your suggestions that make it happen.
Rob.
Yeah, I just want to say very incredibly briefly that I love all of you, and that I'm committed to this community, and that I'm so grateful to this board, and so thankful to the people who served on this board. And this is an incredible conference. And I've been coming since the first one. So that's all I really have to say. And I'm glad that you're here. I'm glad that everybody's here. I'm glad that I'm here and I get to be with you. It's a very special thing. And the other thing that I did want to mention is that we lost Bob Franke recently. And that was a real loss to our community. And it happened so recently that we haven't had a chance to sort of process it in a way. But when I go and listen to my music. So go and listen to Bob Franke's music.
I just wanted to mention on the programming, I thought it was delightful to be forced to make choices between two good programs at the same time, rather than, gee, what's going to be interesting here? I don't want to have to choose between three. we are all fortunate to have been forced to choose amongst good programs. Thank you.
As one of a number of people who didn't come to the conference the past couple of years, due to the issues with the board and former director, I want to commend this board and your conference director on what I thought was a fabulously run conference with a lot of things for everybody in our community. But one thing we can always learn, I've attended each of the regional conferences, primarily NERFA and SERFA, but I've been to each of them, was at the farm conference a couple of weeks ago, which they call the Farm Gathering. This year they added something to that, and each of the regions can learn from each other, no matter the size and the number of people that come to them. And one of the things we can learn from Farm now, besides the fact that they've done a lot of programming and continue to online throughout the year, so it's not just a conference, which is great. The other thing is, this year's Farm Gathering, they changed to the Farm Gathering and Presenter Summit. And on the opening day of the conference, there was a 4-hour open-ended discussion and luncheon strictly for presenters. It enabled them to bring more presenters into the conference than they previously had. And they also, by the way, had 22 folk DJs there. So we can learn from all the other regions, and hopefully they can learn some things from NERFA as well. Thanks.
Sarah. Yes, Maryland flag. Cheryl Kagan, Folk and Great Music. 4 quick things. First, thanks to the board, the volunteers, and everyone who made this a great weekend. Second, other than what Michael just said, it felt like the our side, their side thing was almost virtually non-existent here. And so I just want to thank everyone who was welcoming and inclusive, and just the past is the past, and whatever you thought of the past, we're here now, and we're here to support the music, the performers, and the venues, and that is so important. Third, and I know that you'll hear this in the feedback forms, the Overflow Hotel was not in a great location. There has to be something local. And then second, lastly, I said this like 8 or 10 years ago at a NERFA, and it was fixed. We're at a hotel that doesn't have recycling, and in 2025 we can do better. We created a lot of trash, and we can do better. So I'm hoping that next year the hotel and NERFA can make sure that we are greener.
Katie,
Thank you.
I'm going to have Katie. Can you bring the mic to Katie? Yes. I'm just going to put her on the spot again. She loves that.
Cheryl's really good at it. So for the Overflow Hotel, one of the reasons that it was a little bit further away and it wasn't our preferred or most ideal situation was, given the climate in our country right now and knowing that we were going to be down on our Canadian component, we did not want to overextend NERFA and booking an Overflow Hotel early and not knowing whether or not we would fill that. We now know, even without our Canadian component being as heavy as it has been in years past, we are going to need that. So we will have an Overflow Hotel directly across the street. So that will be our Overflow Hotel. We are getting through this week, and then that contract will be worked on so that that will be posted when the Desmond block is posted. Okay, so you'll be right across the street if you end up in that situation. On the note of recycling, they do recycle, it's just not as obvious, and I think that we just needed some signage. I wasn't aware it was going to be recycling bins put out near trash cans, so they do recycle. We'll be more intentional about what that looks like, and I'll put some signage up for it so that we definitely know that this is trash and this is recycling. So it definitely does happen, and I appreciate the people who just put their cans like on a tray jack, so they're like, I don't know where to put this, and then I got them into a recycling bin, but they do recycle. So we'll be more intentional about signage, because as a composter and a recycler myself, you're speaking to my heart.
Also, people should rethink how many postcards they print up. I mean, you walk around this hotel lobby, there's so many wasted paper postcards that, maybe we don't need those in the future.
Hi everybody, Jillian McTenton here. I want to make a note that if you haven't already checked out, and even if you have checked out, this is a union hotel. All the people who actually served you this weekend were union and labor and, in the movement. They're hurting right now. Everybody's hurting. Please, if you can, spare a couple of dollars. Make sure you give it to your folks, especially the people who made sure that your rooms were comfortable and clean. It would really help. That's all. Thank you.
She's getting her steps in.
There were a couple things in the words that Janice spoke to us that I think are particularly relevant, and one was the deep historical cyclic nature of struggles between social power and, you know, centralized power, if you will. Not to make that overly political, but it's a human problem, and we go through solutions to it, you know, over and over and over again. And I think that the second point was that artists are at a cutting edge of social change and social conscience, and that I think it's really gratifying that you know, the board has worked out a way to work civilly and diversively, and that's a subset of the same problems that our society faces. And so if the people who are at the leading edge couldn't find a way back to stability and back to inclusivity, then that would be a bad sign. So that's a very, very good sign. And the last thing is that she kind of charged us with a responsibility as artists, and she was very discreet and gentle in her saying that, you know, choose the mode of you know, self-defense, if you will, that suits you. But I know that there are now, you know, almost thousands of No Kings gatherings happening. And one of the things I've noticed at those is sometimes they'll have a local musician and they'll warm up the crowd and stuff. But we are the people who have made our life about motivating crowds and knitting community in a group of people that we've never met before. And so I think that I just want to suggest one of the ways that we can carry the torch that Ian was clearly passing to us is by you know, making our services available when there's a local No Kings gathering, and, you know, within your own concern for your own safety and with your own, you know, take care of yourself, as they say, carpe diem, but be careful. That's the impact that I think that you know, Janice has kind of turned over to us.
I'm Carl Bissix. My sister was involved in this organization from the start, and beloved for that. And I think we have made this our community as well. It was a great conference. And I just want to give a shout out to the hotel and the staff here. We had a room that was chilly. It wasn't keeping warm. We called the desk. And I swear, in 5 minutes, there was a technician there on a stepladder in our bathroom turning valves on, you know. And it didn't work right away, and we called down again, and they came up with two extra blankets for us in 5 minutes. They're really going out of their way to help us here. And the staff at the restaurant is they're just always attentive. So anyway, nice choice, I think.
Thank you, Carl.
Thank you so much. I wonder if anybody was, Katie doesn't know this yet, but there was a jam in the lobby until probably 4 or 5 in the morning. What time did that end? Anybody?
4:35.
4:30.
Yeah.
Sorry, Katie.
But they asked us to move to the lobby.
They did ask us, because it was over here, and they asked us to move to the lobby, and everybody was great, and it started off really kind of nice and quiet, and then it was awesomely just amazing. So that's the spirit.
Hi, everybody. Laurie. You might recognize me from such calendars as the Naked Hook.
Hold on a second.
So, a couple of things. I realized last night that I felt happier than I've ever felt in my life, which is great. Next is those little ribbons that you put on the name tag. I chose Party Animal. It's only true at NERFA, Folk Alliance, and a few other places that I'm not going to mention. So if you want to continue the party, I'm going to go to Northampton today to see Ellis Paul play at the Parlor Room. Ellis was here. He wasn't going to be able to make it. He was touring.
So grateful that he was here.
Sarah invited him, and he had to make a couple of changes, but he texted me last night that he wished he were still here. And so he only got to sing one song here. I think, did he perform that one like that? What could a horse do? Find true songs, right? Find true songs from Cafe Lena and look at that. But yeah, I'm going to Northampton, so after this meeting I'm going to be out there. Ask me about Northampton, and let's keep the party going. I'm a party animal.
Thank you, Lori. For those who don't know, if it wasn't for Lori McAllister, I would not be sitting up.
Sorry.
She brought me, yeah, thank you so much. She brought me to my first NERFA, and here we are. So thank you, Lori. Thank you for being here. Thank you. I just want to say one quick thing. If for any artists that are in the room, any singer-songwriters, anybody going to Folk Alliance? Anybody going to Folk Alliance? So NERFA is going to host a room for an evening. We're going to have a showcase, and get in touch with us because you guys would be the first to apply to play in that room because you're here. I just wanted to put that out there. Any other questions? I think there's one in the back.
So, yeah, two things. I hate speaking at these things. In the 12,000 years that I've been coming to NERFA, you know, one of the big things that I've always pushed on is inclusivity and making safe space for people who don't traditionally find safe spaces. And thankfully, NERFA over the numerous years has gotten better, but I think we need to continue. We need to make certain that more people feel comfortable here. It's not just the meals, it's just making certain that people of color are welcome, younger people are welcome, the LGBTQ plus community, that this is a space that we want them here. And it also has to do with flavors of folk. We have to be welcoming to different variances of experience, even within the musical realm that we love. And I think it's fantastic. I've seen the growth over the years, and I commend everybody for listening and doing that stuff, but we need to continue and make certain that we do more, all right? And second of all, anytime that there's a failure, it's human. There was a peer group of young folks that were meeting because they were concerned about how much garbage we were creating at this conference. And it's one of the things that I talk about all the time, and thank you, Ron, for mentioning it before. We're supposed to be the people who are taking care of things, right? And yet, every time I come to a NERFA conference, it's littered with paper that we bring, right? I think we need to walk the walk and not just talk the talk, right? We need to make certain that we're the ones saying this, that we're also the ones doing it. And I would really love to see this peer group, they have lots of things that they can reach out to you about, that we could incorporate within the community to make certain that we're doing the things that we need to do in order to be the people that we say we are. Cool? Cheers.
Thank you.
Joe, can I just say, can I just make a quick comment? In response to that, I wanted to say that as a person of color on this board, last year when Reggie Harris said, you know, well, how would you like to be on the board of NERFA? It was like, well, okay, I'll see what that's about. And I will say that I came to the board thinking to myself, there are folks who organize, you know, they organize conferences. Sarah organizes, you know, Cafe Lena. They're you know, Ron, I mean, that stuff you do, all of you. And I sort of thought, okay, what am I bringing to this board? And I was speaking with Cheryl Reagan, and I was like, I'm seeing these people, this incredible board of people with experience in running clubs, running organizations, da-da-da. And she said, you are bringing perspective. And you're bringing your perspective as a working musician, you're bringing your perspective as a person of color. And I just wanted to say that for me, this year was a year of learning. because I had come to NERFA maybe 3 or 4 times before, and I came and I had some showcases and I had a great time, and then I went home. But this past year, I've just learned so much, and we had an affinity group for people of color, and it was larger than it was, in other years. I mean, we're looking forward to becoming larger and larger as it goes. I think Naomi Westwater, who organizes Reclaiming Folk, in terms of where folk music comes from, and Black people's, people of color, their contributions to folk music. All these discussions are happening, and it was so great to be able to go into different rooms and see artists of color performing and then showcases, and the panel that we did in terms of how are artists feeling in these repressive times about being able to express themselves. I just wanted to say that I felt this entire conference that I came with some pretty interesting ideas around how to express myself, and it was so totally open and so totally welcoming to what I brought to this conference. And so I'm grateful, one, to be here. I hope that my contribution continues to be good and it's something that helps the conference. But I just want to say I'm feeling very much welcomed in this conference, and I hope to see that continue and to grow even stronger. But I have loved this entire week. I'm going to stop now because, as I said, I cry. I cry at butter commercials. But thank you so much. Thank you so much.
From WFMT in Chicago. Pray for us. And also, representing NERFA West. But one thing I just want to leap on to what Kemp just said, and what other people in this room have said and have done with your lives. I would love to see even greater representation by educators of all kinds, and remembering that every songwriter has the capacity to teach and enrich other minds. Going back to Farm at our fabulous Presenters Summit, I have the incredible privilege of being a presenter as well as a live concert broadcast series. There was a young woman, and I mean very young, early to mid-20s, who stood up and said, I know that you all are looking around and saying, how do we bring younger people into the folk circles and into these conferences and into the houses and the venues? And she said, invite us in, invite young people in, and then sit there and be quiet and listen to our ideas because we are smart and we've got ideas. So as I approach my 75th birthday, I'm saying, don't listen to me. Listen to those young people. They have things to teach us.
So, one more. Okay, gotcha. There, all right, good. And then we will have to wrap it up because we have some music to play.
Yeah.
And obviously hotel keys to hand in. Hello everyone, my name is Christine Belay. I'm a singer-songwriter from Pittsfield, Massachusetts. And this is my first NERFA. One suggestion, please put a newbie tag, because next year if there is one. Yeah, we always do, and this year we forgot one, but you will have one next year, because you'll be allowed to wear it, probably. Yes, well, we told the newbies they could wear it next year. And I just wanted to say thank you to a lot of people in this room for welcoming me and inviting me to play at showcases. It was wonderful to play my music, even though it might be a little bit of a different flavor of folk. And I want to say really a thanks to Rishad on the board, number one, for telling me about NERFA years ago, but this was finally the time that I got to be here. So I just want to say thank you to everyone. Thank you for diversifying the board. Thank you for making that people of color affinity group. It was nice to walk in and see people who look like me and talk about different ideas and how we actually feel here and ways that folk music can continue to evolve and improve. So thank you very much.
Can I just ask my buddy Chuck Vosganian, who literally gave us the mic this weekend, to just say.
Thank you, Sarah. I'm Chuck Vosganian with Empire Audio, and our official name is Empire Audio Recording and Sound, which the acronym is EARS. And I hope you got that. I'd just like to say that I'm very, very lucky in working with the people that I work with. I've known Matt Sariani, there you are. I've known Matt Sariani for about 12 years. He's done hundreds of shows with me. Dave Rockhour and I have been doing shows for 6 or 7 years now. Nate Scheid works at WAMC. Alan Chartok used to say, Nate Scheid, you sure he works for us? Nate's a great guy. We've been working together for 4 or 5 years. And Brendan and I have been friends and working together for 4 years. And Brendan now started off lifting and carrying stuff and now does our lights. So this is just a great team and a lot of fun to work with these guys. And it was great to be here, not on a heavy metal festival. And we really loved it. We look forward to doing it again. Thank
What I'm going to do after the question is I'm going to draw names for free regional registrations, and you don't have to be here to win, but I just want to do it in front of people. And then, because sometimes I have forgotten and then I do it at home. That's not good. Go ahead. Oh, Reese wants to say one quick thing.
I'm really excited to work with this board. I'm really excited to be part of this tribe. And I hate when the weekend ends. So this year, at the Hudson, at the Park Theater in Hudson, if you're all going south, it's only going to be about 15, 20 minutes out of your way. Not all the way to Northampton would be great if you're going to Boston. But if you go to New York or down to Philly or whatever, come to Hudson, and we're going to have a post-NERFA hootenanny at the Park Theater in Hudson. Wow. So we're going to keep the party over.
What time?
It starts at 4 o'clock. And this is today.
Okay, and if you really just want to be inefficient and head north, Flamey Grant is playing at 7 o'clock. And we have a great open mic tomorrow. All right, so
that's Cafe Lena.
That's Cafe Lena, sorry about that. Yes, Cafe Lena in Saratoga Springs, about a half hour north of here. So for the final question or comment of the 2025 community meeting.
This is Jenny French from Philly, Another Chance Cafe. Just 2 things. One, songwriting. I didn't see a songwriting workshop. Maybe I missed it, but we've had some wonderful ones in the past at NERFA, and I'm looking forward to one maybe next year. The other thing is that for going to events like No Kings, there's an organization called Voices Rising, and it's just whoever shows up. And but if you get allied with that or join, it's not a formal organization. But we have Voices Rising Philly. And there may be 10 people, there may be 20 people who show up at an event. Philly, obviously, we had some huge protests, and we got to sing on stage in June, and people said it was very moving. So I recommend checking that out and helping them grow and showing up for those events.
Yes, we got some work to do. There's a community jam out in the atrium here after we're done here. Thank you guys so much for being here. I will draw some names. Do you have something to say?
No.
First of all, this was an amazing turnout for Sunday morning. So I know I was joking before, but this place is packed, and I really appreciate you coming to this and lending us, your ear, and also giving us your feedback. And keep in touch, Cheryl@nerfa.org or info@nerfa.org, and then we're going to start planning tomorrow. For next year. Oh, okay, maybe Tuesday. I don't want to cry, but let's pick some names. All right, we're gonna pick some names. Yeah, put that mic over here. What do we got? We got Surfa. That's it. May 28th to 31st in Owensboro, Kentucky. Go ahead and pick a name.
Yeah.
Shuffle them up here.
Don't drop them.
That must be it.
That was you. You're fired. All right, I'll get bigger buckets next year. I did coffee tin. Coffee tin.
All right.
Who's going to serve?
Madrid Guy, Rob? Myron, I'm sorry.
Irish, I'm so sorry. It looks like May Reed. Myra.
M-A-I-D-I-N?
Is it Maiden?
Oh, Maiden. Maiden. M-I-A-D-I-N?
Oh, Maiden.
Megan.
No, the real name is Megan. No, I'm serious, but not me. I mean, it could be me.
No.
I know.
Is it me?
We have the email address, we can type. We'll let her know.
Marie Guy. Marie Guy. It is Marie. It is Marie, because I got an email here. So, all right, we'll email her or him. We're going to put Surfa. Oh, my God. All right, that was Surfa.
Right.
Next.
Let's recycle the paper.
Far West hasn't decided what date or what city, but they're more than likely going back to where they were this year, which I know is north, very north. Very north. All right, Naomi, would you pick one of those? Nice, that's Surfa. Who's going to Far West?
Catherine Miles.
That is cool.
Far West. I wonder if she's going to bring her husband.
I was going to say. Jane better start saving up.
All right, what do we got here? We got Swerfa in Austin, Texas, September 23rd to 27th. Whoever's not been to Swerfa, you must go to Swerfa. It's so much fun. Reese, pick a Swerfa.
You said my name, I thought I won.
Oh,
You were so hopeful.
You can't do that.
Okay.
Bernie.
Donate it back, pick another name.
Aww.
Go again.
Dump in the box over here.
Yeah, Bernie Brewery. No. Jude Roberts.
We got that one. Ooh, Focal Lights. Ooh, big one, big one, big one. That's good. And the winner is Bruce Carroll. All right, the last one is Farm in Minneapolis, Minnesota, October 25th to 22nd to 25th. Ron, pick a farmer.
Goes out to
And then go jam. And safe travels, by the way. Flying or driving or.
Claire Wellen.